Good morning. It is the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization. Locked on Big 12. And most importantly, this day, this moment, this hour, this 3 hours in time. Most importantly, the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. You can get involved. Your favorite head basketball coach, your uncle, your best friend from high school, a guy you met one time on the bus and you thought, that might be Hubert Davis. So you leaned over and you said, hey, man, really appreciate your work. And he said, oh, thanks. And you still don't know if it was Hubert Davis. If that is the case, 310-840-4910. It's an open and free phone line. You can call me. Text us, 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. And for the next 3 hours, we will discuss today being MLB Opening Day. It's the opening of the days. It's not the first full day of Major League Baseball, but it's the opening of the thing. And I'll watch tonight as, for the first time ever, the robot umpire is employed. We're not robot umpire. Yeah, it's not technically a robot umpire, but whenever the players want it, they can have a robot umpire. I say whenever. There's limits on how many failed ABS challenges you can use, but tonight we'll see it in official action in Major League Baseball. It should take 10 seconds per review, and we'll know whether or not the umpire's calls were correct. And you'll get the first opportunity displayed on your TV screen to really figure out whether or not you like this whole thing. Oh, tonight's game, 8:05 Eastern Time, Yankees and Giants. Which, by the way, two things that I don't love about this. The first of them being a 5:05 local time first pitch. So you're taking off work on a Wednesday in San Francisco to go to Oracle Park. You're taking a half day, traffic and everything. You want to be off of work and out of there by 2:30 to get to this game for a 5 o'clock first pitch local time. That's the first thing I'm a little like, okay. Could have had it in Eastern time, but whatever. The second most here. Netflix? That's right, sports fans. You have to use your Netflix subscription to watch baseball tonight. I had that conversation yesterday with the guys from Barrett Media, John Momola. We talked about, is baseball, even the NBA, are these professional sports leagues declining because fans don't know where to watch their teams? The answer has to be yes. Addie, you're gross. You're an Astros fan. You're out of market. Proudly. You're out of market. Do you know clearly how to watch every Astros game the rest of the season?
Yep.
Good.
1,000%.
What's your tactic? What do you have to do?
Well, because I am employed by MLB Network, I get the whole MLB TV. I can also listen on Sirius XM. But for those who live in Houston, Space City Home Network, Fubo TV, I know everything.
Yep, plug in your Fubo TV, folks. If I told my grandma, you can watch it on Fubo TV, her brain may explode. Like, for the benefit of her health, I shouldn't tell her that.
Honestly, it's not as bad, in my opinion, as, like, the NFL, though, where you have to pay, like, crazy amounts of money. Like, MLB TV does a really good job. I mean, the only thing is like, if you are in, like, the area, that's what sucks. But that's why I can watch anything up here.
Okay, so you're telling me I need to have an MLB TV subscription to watch the Rangers. So if I'm in Savannah, I can watch. Okay, yep. Except for the Braves. Probably can't watch the Braves.
Nope, but there is Braves TV.
There is Braves TV, and somewhere I can find that. Somewhere in the ether. It goes back to the conversation for me of Bam Adebayo dropping 83 points. I'm like, okay. Was it 83 or 82? See?
83.
How quickly we forget. If the tree falls in the woods, no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. If Bam Adebayo scores 83 and you have no idea where to watch it, did he really score 83? I love one of my favorite parts of being a child is opening day, 3 p.m. Central Time, the Texas Rangers and the Oakland Athletics sprinting home to watch that game, to see Matt Harrison take the bump on opening day for my favorite baseball team. Love it. I want that feeling back. That was on Fox Sports Southwest. Every game was on Fox Sports Southwest. And it rocked. Tonight on Netflix, MLB Opening Day. Already gave you the fact that Hubert Davis, the North Carolina guy, is fired. And we will start there today. But lest I forget and not remind you, Joe Flacco is back. Another major storyline I want to make sure you have in your back pocket. If you only get to listen for a couple minutes today, the NBA Players Union wants that 65-game rule gone because now Cade Cunningham won't win any NBA honors because he hasn't played in 65 games. They said, just give the award to the best players, please. Stop doing the games thing. Flacco at 41 years old is headed back to Cincinnati. That guy was a Brown 5 months ago. Ja Morant, season's probably done because you really care. You were super invested in that one. And that Crow Armstrong deal we talked about yesterday, 6 years, $115 million. Oh, I would love $115 million to play baseball, please. But it's Hubert Davis. That's the top of my list to start this show today. The North Carolina head coach that was fired in the middle of my night, he was fired 8 hours ago. So 10 p.m., the news comes down the pipeline from ESPN that Hubert Davis is gone. And you know what? Who am I as a human being to disparage another man? Who am I to tell you, hey, we should relish in the fact that a human got fired, that a man got fired? Who am I to praise the idea that a man, woman, or child will no longer have the position they loved? Well, I'm someone who's not fired, at least not today. Because here's the thing. We love to say, oh, yeah, fancy guy with the microphone. Oh, yeah, Tim the accountant. Yeah, you go try to coach NCAA basketball. Yeah, all right, Hubert Davis. You go try to be an accountant. You go try to be a surgeon. Oh, yeah, well, you surely you got an opinion down at your little sports bar down there. You think you know everything about basketball, huh? Well, you know what? You know what you do know? You do know that Hubert Davis was not meeting the standard of a North Carolina. If Hubert Davis was doing what he was doing at North Carolina A&T or at NC State, he would be fine. But he's at the prestigious North Carolina, Bubba Cunningham presiding. And you just can't lose. Them's the rules. And I'm not so sure that Bubba Cunningham loved that when Roy Williams stepped down, he said, hey, by the way, it's got to be Hubert Davis. So Bubba said, fine, I'll give Hubert a couple seasons. And he has not been solid in the regular season. That was a bit of a problem. 2022, you'll remember, he did not have a very good regular season. Made it into the tournament as an 8 seed, but accidentally took UNC to the Final Four and eventually the national championship game against Kansas, where he did what Hubert Davis does. And his team got up by, 20 points and then lost. Therein lies the problem, folks. The guy loves to get up by an insurmountable amount of points and then lose. I watched it live that same season, 2022, in Dickies Arena, Fort Worth, Texas. Row 31 in the Baylor Bears family section. Baylor was the 1 seed that year, James Akinjo. And facing that North Carolina team that most people, Brady Manick, most people have written off. And Carolina was up 25 with 8 minutes to go. It was nuts. It was complete. It was like 75-50. It was terrible. Half the Baylor players had already fouled out. And all of a sudden, this game's going to overtime. Like, Hugh, how did you do that? How did you pull that? How did you allow Baylor to send this game to overtime? Now, eventually, yes, North Carolina won, but you could tell there were some cracks in the armor. That this North Carolina team, this Hubert Davis North Carolina team, closing games out is just not. Oof. Could this be a long-term issue? And it was a long-term issue. North Carolina head men's basketball coach Hubert Davis was fired. This is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This comes off the heels, too, of the worst possible way to make your case to Bubba Cunningham and the UNC athletic department. Having a 19-point lead against VCU and losing 82-78 in overtime. So it's not even, you can't even say, well, I just won an NCAA tournament game. Oh, give me another chance. There was a fluke and we lost on a buzzer beater. No, you were up by 19. The North Carolina social media team posted, they tweeted in the middle of this game, we are currently up 19 points, period, with a picture of the team. As if they knew that someday, here in a few hours, we're not going to be up by 19 points anymore. It was the largest blown lead in the history of the first round of the NCAA tournament. Oh, and it marks the first time in 40 years. I mean, it's the existence of this. First time since 1985 when the tournament did expand to 64 teams. The UNC has been bounced back-to-back years in the round of 64. Lost to Ole Miss last season, 2025 in the same round. And it's lost to VCU. It means that you lost 3 straight at the end of the year. The first time the program had finished a season that way in 56 seasons. Oh. The extreme volatility of this, the snip-snap of are we good, are we bad, what are we? A, quote, Cinderella run in 2022. You can't really be a Cinderella if you're North Carolina, but they were an 8 seed. But then in 2023, you were the first ever preseason number 1 team. Man, that Hubert Davis sure did get them right. It's so tough to replace the legend. They're so good, they're the number 1 team in the country. And they were the first ever number 1 team in the country to miss the NCAA tournament altogether. Oh, so there's somebody out there today saying, hey, he was 125 and 54. Why'd they fire the guy? They fired him because he did the one thing you can't do at North Carolina, and that is lose in the big moments. Lose in the NCAA tournament. Miss the NCAA tournament with a team that everyone else has deemed as the number 1 roster in America. He lost when the fans were really watching for them to win. Like, okay, here's the moment. 18-24 versus top 25 teams. 28-47 in quad 1 games. And here is why, if you're Darren, and Darren, you're in Opelika, Alabama right now listening to Westwood One Sports. Darren saying, I don't know. I'm always celebrating a guy who got fired. Think about his family, his kids. Well, Darren, he got a $6 million payday for this, so don't feel too bad. Oh, and on top of that, Darren, here's what happens. If you show up to work today at New York Life Insurance and you don't open your computer, you don't land a single sale or you ignore clients, whatever New York Life Insurance people do. No idea what they're doing in there. If you don't do that, or if you do it poorly, if you're bad at it, do you know what happens, Darren? You get fired. They remove you from your job, and you don't get $6 million, more than likely. So you know what? Here's the difference in you, Big D, and Hubert Davis. You do your job. You do your job well. You deliver. When people are counting on you, they're looking at you to win, to do well, to help the company, you're helping the company. And it's a prestigious company. Everyone's heard of New York Life, and your job is important. You treat your job with importance, and when the moment is the biggest, when the moment is the brightest, you win. It's not just you. You lead a team of a few people. You're counting on them to help deliver for you. Oh, college basketball is so much harder. Your job's not easy. Every day, is it? Oh, but the spotlight, but the base level of this, what we're talking about is if you're good at your job, if you're doing a good job at your job, you're going to keep your job, right? And I know it's highly competitive, but welcome to what we do. We kind of do that in America. We kind of make everything highly competitive. So I'm sorry that Hubert Davis got fired. My thoughts go out to him and his family. I'm sure it sucks to be a North Carolina guy, tried and true. To his base level, he is UNC. And maybe if Caleb Wilson stays healthy, to the chagrin of Bubba Cunningham, the athletic director, to the chagrin of North Carolina fans, a healthy Caleb Wilson leads UNC to the Final Four in the national championship game. Maybe that happens, and Hubert Davis would inevitably keep his job. But nope, Wilson was hurt. His season ended in February, and the team melted down immediately. And it just didn't feel like, oh, he's going to do it. Oh, watch out. It didn't feel like, oh, here it comes. It didn't feel like they were adhering to the Carolina way. That Hubert Davis was really putting forth the Carolina way. And it's time for a change in leadership. And Roy Williams' hand-picked successor is done. And UNC may go outside the Carolina family for the first time since 1999. Hello, TJ Otzelberger at Iowa State. How do you do? Hello, guy at St. Louis who just got a big extension. We can double that one. And Davis was very clear. I was let go. This separation's not mutual. He would have stayed, but UNC said it was time. Coming up, Arkansas, Arizona, one of my favorite matches out of this entire Sweet 16 because of Darius Acuff Jr. and Braden Burries. Who are those two names, and why should you know them? This is the Drake Toll Show.
Let's
Touch yourself. Touch yourself.
That ball had a family, a wife, 4 kids, living in the suburbs.
Just in there pressing them damn buttons, huh? Oh my gosh, it's the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Jesse Holley, Dallas Cowboys legend, is listening right now. In Dallas, Texas, actually. And the fact that he had to hear that. Wow. We're taking there's still Darren in Opelika, Alabama. I've not forgotten about him. He's still listening. And he's going to New York Life here in a couple hours. He's getting up. He just went to the gym, which is a great practice. And then there's former NFL wide receiver Jesse Holley, who's also listening. And each of them have to hear touch yourself. Curtis? Touch yourself. Every morning. Oh, what a world we live in. What an education we paint. This is Westwood One. Shouted from the mountaintops. Good morning, everybody. I hope you have your coffee, your tea, whatever you drink. Today I've got no free ads. Vegetable 8 Energy, steady energy and supports focus. Pomegranate blueberry. Addie, what you sipping on?
Coffee with half and half.
Coffee black.
Light roast.
Cigarette.
Because the lighter the bean, the more caffeine.
50 calories in this little bottle, too. And a delicious boost of steady energy from black and green tea. Ugh. Everything is tea.
But I like something warm. Like, I like coffee to wake me up.
Yeah, I always balance every morning, my new routine. No more Yoo-hoo after Black and Abdallah bullied me into oblivion.
I didn't bully you enough.
They bullied me plenty. No more Yoo-hoo. Fine. So now I do one of those 16 ounces of White Monster. No free ads. I do which they called me that in high school. Oh, here comes the White Monster. That's what they would call me in high school. And I drink one of those, and then I drink 2 glasses of the world's hottest tea. I get it up to 210 degrees. One of them is black tea, just strictly black tea. The other one is coconut tea. Curtis, what you got?
I don't have anything.
What the hell, man?
It's 2 in the morning and no one's open.
Is this because you don't want to... Man, how do I say this without the FCC? Is this because you don't want to release yourself during the show? Touch yourself.
No.
What happens?
I just don't.
Today's the day. I'm going to ask it. I've been wondering for 3.5 months now. What do you do when you have to tinkle? Because you have to run the board. And if at any point in time the music or something just starts crapping itself, like, man, I'm FCC all over the place. If the system shuts down, the onus is on you, and your pants are halfway down to the bathroom. What do? What does a Curtis do?
It's very awkward run back, I guess.
Do you have like a bottle under the table? Do you Joe Buck this thing?
Curtis, it's like the Patrick.
Doesn't Scott Hansen do that on Red Zone?
Oh, God. That's
Scott
awful.
Hansen does do that.
He goes during interviews.
Like, actually does that, though?
He goes during interviews. He'll
joking.
leave. I've noticed that.
Addie, what was your question here?
He goes during interviews. But, Curtis, you know, like the Patrick from SpongeBob meme with his pants at the ground? He's running.
He's waddling.
That's you. That's literally Curtis.
Even I was disbarred from watching SpongeBob, but remember the Patrick meme of him waddling. That's
It
good to
explains
know.
a lot.
The more
Explains
you know.
a lot.
Hippo siblings are enjoying spring break in Savannah, by the way. That's on the news today. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. At 8:12 last night, I took 2 melatonin gummies, and by 8:30, the lights were not on and no one was home. I could have been robbed and never would have known it. Woke up at 3 o'clock. I had no alarm set, thankfully. Woke up at 3 o'clock on my own. Woo! Dangerous game. And now I'm just chipper. Now I'm just in a good mood today. Sorry, Hubert Davis. I didn't mean to do this to you. I know you're listening out there, and I didn't want this to seem so dour. I wanted to have a good pick-me-up for you today as we preview the teams that did make the Sweet 16. Arizona, Arkansas, Have we decided that's not a good song, by the way? The Alabama, Arkansas?
It's just like the hipster gastropub music.
Yeah, what the hell were we doing back then?
It's just...
Alabama,
I thought you would like that because it's singer-songwriter, like, esque.
Yeah, I mean, I probably 10 years ago was all over that. That was probably my number one listened to song in 2014. But no, because I think what we'd established were that was the era where white people were doing some crazy things. That was kind of the white anthem, was the Alabama, Arkansas song. And then I think 5 years later we had to take a lot of piercings out. It's like, oh... And these tattoos don't go away. Like, Addie, you have meaningful tattoos to you. I think back then, we were just letting people get tattoos because they were doing drugs and listening to the Alabama, Arkansas song, but not in a cool Woodstock drugs way. More like a not cool, you shouldn't have dreadlocks, why did you get that tattoo on you kind of way.
Who's to say that's not why I get tattoos?
Is to listen to that song by the Alabama Shakes or whoever it's by? I have no idea who it's by.
It's not by the Alabama Shakes, but I do not know. I know it's by a couple, and they're now divorced.
Yeah, I thought they both died from drug overdoses.
Oh.
Yeah, they could have. You know, I went to dinner last night. Man, I'm going to get this Arkansas thing. I went to dinner. There's just so many things I want to share with the world today. There's so many things I want you to know. I went to dinner last night, and the females at the table, you know what they said?
Oh, my God, you said...
Yeah, you hate when I say females. The females at the table, they were on Taylor Frankie Paul's side. Now, how in the world do you side with her after she beat that dude with a chair in front of her child who was sitting on the couch?
First, getting rid of no females, none of that. You know, I hate that. Yeah, well, you wouldn't say the males at the table. See the guys at the table, the dudes at the table. I know you would.
Name a female.
Yeah.
Oh, Marissa.
God. But yeah, no, that's actually really funny. My tolerance for that doesn't matter what gender you are. 0 tolerance for abuse, assault, that kind of stuff. What was the reasoning for siding with her?
They were like, well, it happened 3 years ago, and he only released the video now just so she would get in trouble and not have to go on the show, and they would delete the whole thing. And it happened it was 3 years old, and he was a bad guy. We watched 5 years of the show, and he was mentally abusive. I was like, I don't know what's going on, man. I just saw the video of her beating him with a chair in front of her kid. She threw that chair at him. Could have hit her kid. I think it did hit the kid.
You got some interesting friends, Drake Toll.
CPS took her baby. She's crying. We got to get you two on that. We got to get you two to watch that movie. Wonderful World of the Whites, West Virginia zone. Arkansas, Arizona. 8.5-point favorites for the Wildcats. Is that too many? Well, they got the Big 12 Player of the Year in Jaden Bradley. They got Braden Burries. They got Koa Pete. They've got a bunch of guys with European names that have a whole lot of consonants in them. You know, Amitov Shlivov, the Illinois kid. There's always one of those at Illinois. They play Houston tomorrow night. This game is actually tomorrow night as well. Thursday. That's right, March Madness. It's like just as soon as it went away. As soon as it's like, oh, man, the first weekend's over. The ball is tipped. Woo, you barely wipe the sweat from your brow. You're like, I need to breathe for a second. We're right back in it. And tomorrow night, I hate how they do this. You're telling me you can play the Major League Baseball opening day standalone game at 5 o'clock local time, but you can't stagger these games a little bit better in March Madness. 7:10, 7:30, so I have to watch both of those at the same time. Like, what? You're just competing with yourself. 10:05 and 9:45. Why, can we just stagger these a little bit, please? Start one of them at 5 Eastern time. Gives people on the West Coast still an excuse to watch the game at work. Have another one at 6:30. 8 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Come on. That's how easy it was. I fixed it. This game between Arkansas and Arizona has a star-studded cast. Trevin Brazile for Arkansas is one of the most prolific dunkers in college basketball, if not the most prolific and consistent dunker in college basketball. If you like fireworks, if you're the kid who just wants to see them dunk and make three-pointers, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Or if you're the adult man who wants to watch a really, really good elite level, player of the year level guard run out there and take a game over, Darius Acuff Jr., that's your guy. Arkansas, Arizona, this game's got it. The Hogs average 90 points per game. Now, on the other side, the problem with that is they allow 80 points per game. So they're going to score a lot of points, but you're also going to score a lot of points. That's what happened against High Point, 94 to 88, the final score in that one. Even Hawaii, 97-78. Against Ole Miss in the SEC tournament, a pretty hapless Ole Miss team who was on a Cinderella run of their own in that tournament, 93-90 in OT. 86-75 against Vanderbilt. Arizona, they've dominated teams all year long. 86 points per game, 68 points allowed. 43 rebounds a game. The Hogs are at 36. Hogs looking good tonight. It's an Arizona team. You look at their resume, their schedule this year. They opened the season by beating number 3 Florida. Then they beat UCLA, who was 15th at the time. They went to Storrs, Connecticut, 71-67, beating the number 3 team in the country. They beat number 20 Auburn by 30 points, just to turn around and beat number 12 Alabama by 21 points. We haven't even gotten to conference play. At TCU, tournament team by 13. At BYU, the number 13 team in the country, got up by 20 points. Nearly blew it, didn't blow it. 86-83, they won at BYU against AJ DeBonsa. At number 9, Kansas, they lost. They had a weird stretch. They lose to Kansas, they lose to Texas Tech. A couple top 16 teams. Lost to Tech by 3, Kansas by 4, and that's it. Those are the only 2 blips. Back-to-back losses. Back-to-back losses, middle of the conference season, and then they just didn't lose again. And they had not lost prior to that. A dominant college basketball team. They hosted number 23 BYU. They went on the road to number 2 Houston. They beat Kansas at home. They beat number 6 Iowa State at home. Then in the Big 12 tournament, knocked off a top 10 team Iowa State by 2 points, 82-80, and then knocked off number 5 Houston, 79-74. This is what Arizona does. They are so incredibly dominant this year. And for Arkansas, the resume is good. 28-8. But it's not like that. Like their biggest games, Michigan State loss, Duke loss, Houston 94-85. They lost that game. Put up a lot of points, but they allowed Houston to score 94, a team predicated on defense. They lost at Auburn by 22, at Georgia by 14. They lost at home against Kentucky. It's a big game for John Calipari. Bama and Florida. If you look up and down their schedule, the teams that have numbers beside them, by and large, Arkansas is losing to those. Yeah, they beat Tennessee, and they beat Vanderbilt. They beat Texas Tech and Louisville. Some good teams in that mix. But even the tournament run, Hawaii and High Point, not 2 top 25 caliber teams. High Point's good. I don't want to dilute what High Point did this year, but is Arkansas's resume something you're writing home about? This is a clash reminiscent of the Final Four in 1994. Arizona and Arkansas. 40 minutes of hell, Nolan Richardson. I remember it. I was there. I wouldn't be alive for 7 more years, but I was there in spirit. And now Tommy Lloyd and John Calipari face each other for the first time ever. And Arizona wants to please break the Sweet 16 curse. Tommy Lloyd has struggled mightily to get out of that Sweet 16. But Arizona is this old-school bully in the three-point era, and Arkansas is a three-point shooting team in the three-point era. I think free throws are the difference. Arizona being more physical, they'll draw more fouls. Braden Burries, Jaden Bradley, Koa Pete. Darius Acuff Jr. has a good cast. But Arkansas is 8-8 in quad 1 games, and they're going to rely on him heavily, and Arizona has 7 guys. Del Orso off the bench they can rely on. That's a pretty big difference. And Arizona wins this game by a pretty big difference, 9 points. 89-80, Arizona beats Arkansas. 89-80. Coming up, it's time for our biggest losers of the day. You may just be one of them. Allow me to explain. This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
March.
Touch yourself. Touch yourself. It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. You can call or text the show. 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. Good morning. I have been doing a new thing with my tea that I drink every day. And you ever
Not spilling it on yourself?
Yeah, I've
That's
tried not to
pretty
spill it
new.
on myself. Do you know how they have the soup, the stew there's one in Japan right now, is the oldest one in the world, 1946, where they make it in the same pot every day. They don't wash it. They just get, it's like a forever stew. There's a word for it. Infinity stew?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I've been doing that with my tea. So I'll drink the entire glass of tea on Sunday or Monday. I just sit it on my desk, come back the next day, boil the water. So the water's boiling, which kills all bacteria. Anything over 140 degrees kills all bacteria. And then I pour it into the glass, and then I continue to drink the tea. It's day 3 of this experiment. My tea tastes really funky.
Yeah, you got your banana germs all in that.
Bananas.
I don't think my banana germs are in the tea. It also could be because I think this glass is meant to be a, what do you call those? Like fine china, what display piece. I don't think it's supposed to have hot tea in it. The glass is like sweating weird sap. Nothing about what's happening right now in my morning tea is going well. That's what I'm trying to say. And yesterday, I posted that carousel about how I got to the bananas. My eyes were bleeding by the time I was done editing that yesterday. And so I had extra glasses of tea in this thing, and I think it's done. The experiment's over. I'm going to have to wash my teacup. I'm still using the firm toothbrush, by the way, which every time I use it, I feel guilty. I feel like, Addie, you've taken on a mom role of this show. I did not know it was eroding my gums.
I've taken on recently, this day one, I've been the mom of this show.
Yeah.
This is what's funny. I talked to my parents. There's like 2 different types of only children because I'm an only child. And some who are very reliant on other people because they're like, this is their first time without mom and dad. Like, what do you do? And then there's Addie, who's just,
Sometimes known as Abby.
Yeah, sometimes Abby.
Bates. Or spelled multiple different ways in the same article.
The face of this show, some would say.
I would tend to agree.
Why we have all those subscribers. Curtis and Abby.
I did have to edit the caption of that post 4 times. For misspelling things and misremembering things, which is my biggest pet peeve in the world. But I felt like caption.
Q or Q?
Oh, Q or Q is a great question. At Drake C. Toll on Instagram, please DM me right now. Q or Q?
In my sports minutes yesterday, I did say Q up, go Cubs, go.
That's good. Are you still doing sports minutes for Bleck and Abdallah?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had somebody, return of the Mac, text me and was like, Addie Bates sports minute? I was like, yeah,
Is
dog,
that every day? No?
Yeah. I said, I'm big
Whoa.
time. And
Whoa.
he said, and then he did ask me, he was like, are you looking for like on-air opportunities? And I was like, come on now.
I mean, you are the co-host of this show.
Of course I am.
Does Chris Mack not listen to the Drake Toll Show and hear that it's 92% Addie Bates?
Yeah.
And cats that she carries onto the show?
This one's not mine, though.
Yeah, I don't like that cat. It looks like the cartoon Dynamite blew up in its face.
Big Sin is asleep as we speak. She's not going to be awake for another 20 minutes.
Amen. That's what Bear does. Bear sleeps until 10:30 every day. Lazy. He's getting fat, man. That dog is getting fat.
I thought you got another dog so you can run around with him.
And somehow it's making him fatter. The running is making him a lot fatter. I had to start taking water away from them too. They're over drinking water. Dogs need like an ounce per pound a day. They were just chugging water and peeing all of the time. And my vet said that's pretty bad for them. And that one of them may have diabetes. And I cannot handle a dog with diabetes right now. I cannot do that.
Does Bear have diabetes?
I can't. I don't even want to fathom a dog having diabetes because it's just a nightmare of medication for the rest of their life.
Let me put it this way. Big Sin's 17 pounds, and even she doesn't have diabetes. Okay?
Well, no, there is, like, it's Sunday she is not fat. She was just maybe born diabetic, possibly. My grandma, she would put on the collar of all of her dogs she had, it would say, I'm a diabetic. So it would say Bella, the dog's name. Underneath it would say, is diabetic, and have her phone number on the back so that no one would steal the dog. Because the second they stole the dog, they'd say, like, oh, damn. I got to take this one back. I don't have insulin for a dog.
They're probably eating all that cat food. And
They eat no cat food.
what about the litter box sweet treats?
The cats eat the dog food. It's a complicated zoo. And
got
now
a
there are
lot of
squirrels
animals.
and raccoons out there, and there are coyotes and foxes in the neighborhood. It's a lot going on. The suburbs. Married in a year in the suburb. It's time for the biggest losers of the day. Biggest loser? This guy? Question mark? This is pretty awesome. Fox went into the George Bush Airport in Houston and asked a guy in line, like, hey, so how's today been for you? Here was his response.
What's your message to Congress that could put an end to all of it?
It would be ideal. This isn't working for us right now.
Fire them all. Fire them all.
This is taxpayer money. What's
My
it?
flight leaves in 16 minutes.
16 minutes.
I got the 3 a.m.
Doesn't seem like you're making that flight. What are you going to do about it?
I don't know. Go home. Work in the yard.
Do you have anywhere to be? It's important. Where are you traveling?
I had a reunion with my high school buddies. So.
And now you're forced to miss that.
Yep.
Is that frustrating? What's that
A little
view?
bit.
Can we move the line?
Yep.
We'll walk with you so that we can keep the line
Yep.
moving.
Good morning, everybody.
What time did you come to the airport?
I got to the airport at, I don't know what time did I get here. 5:30, something like that.
All right. Brooke doing a great job down there.
Feel from how they're doing the stopwatch, right?
He got there at 5:30. It was 10 a.m. when they did that interview. He stepped into the interview, butted the other guy out, was like, I'm not happy. Fire everybody, please. Look, I
You're
don't
coaching
care.
the tournament?
I fired all my assistants. I don't care who you are. What your any belief, any politics here. Something's got to change. As someone who flies 3 times a week, I can't keep doing this. We can't have human beings like this guy, Doug, who gets to the airport at 5 o'clock for his 10 a.m. flight, and he misses his flight. And I'm not blaming the TSA agents who want to be paid. Those dogs just want to get paid, man. I've been there. I've wanted to get paid before. I don't understand. So I don't care who. Somebody just fix it. Pay the people that are working. I oftentimes I say it's easier to hate something than to try to understand it. I don't want to try to understand this. I don't want to try to understand why I'm waiting 5 hours for a flight. As someone sitting with you this morning who flies 3 times a week, I cannot keep doing this. Look at that. That guy's complaining. First world problems. No, man. I should be able to get to the airport. Just so you. And if you fly once a year, and you're like, man, I don't. That guy just flies a lot. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a problem. No, imagine your one trip a year with your buddies to go duck hunting. Your one trip a year with your family to go to Disney World, and now you just can't. Now you just can't because the airports are all shut down. That's a problem. Idiot of the day, Dan Orlovsky. Again. This is not even Idiot of the Day segment. This is Biggest Losers, and Dan Orlovsky is still here. Dan tweets yesterday because he tweets a picture of a sign on a door written in crayon, which he probably drew it in his own crayons. People often forget that kindness is free. Tony Vegas retweets, bro got flamed so hard for saying Ty Simpson is QB1, he had to post some poster outside of a laundromat. I mean, Dan, you bring this upon yourself by being not... Like, you bring this upon yourself by grifting. I've told people this. I tell people, I've been asked a couple times the last few weeks. I was asked about Abby Bates, actually. Like, hey, what do people need to know about modern radio hosts and how to interact with the younger audience, with your generation, with our generation? It's like, yeah, dog, you got to be real. You can't just be screaming all the time. You can't just be loud and talk fast all the time. You can't be Dan Orlovsky and just have hot takes for no reason. You know why? Because the 90-somethings who are reposting these AI slops on Facebook, one man rescues 4,000 dogs in Cambodia, brings them back to his South Georgia home. I know it's fake. You're the one sharing it and commenting, how sweet. Our generation knows what's real. We know what's fake. We know what's a grift. We know what's not. We know what's authentic and what's not. Why? Because we've been taught since day one what is and is not artificial. Namely, artificial intelligence. And because of that, we can sniff stuff like this out, Dan. That's the problem. Just be normal. Just be normal. And no one will be that mad at you. Presented by Robinhood. Ugh. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Learn more and get started today with Robinhood at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Coming up, the squirrels are dead. The squirrels are all dead. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I'm worked up. It's the Drake Toll Show.
I don't know why I keep on believing you need me when you proved so many times that it ain't true. And I can't find one good reason for staying. Maybe my leaving would be the best for you. But these rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. And they let me hold on to the good times, good lines, the ones I used to hear when I held you. And they keep me from feeling so cheated, defeated, when reflections in your eyes show me a fool. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. So I'll just keep on hoping, believing that maybe by counting the many times I've tried, you'll believe me when I say I love you, and I'll lay these rose-colored glasses aside. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth.
Drake Tulsa. Bring you back in some Red Bone. That's some good stuff right there. 300 milligrams of that in my veins right here, right now. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addy Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Good morning, America. Good to be with you. Look, man, dude, lockdown. There's so much going on in the world right now. From that plane crash to the, are we in a war? Are we not in a war? I still don't really know.
And we blew them all up, remember?
What a strange time to be alive. Right, Curtis was the Ayatollah for a second, couldn't handle the pressure. Understood. I get it. I couldn't. There's the meta thing and AI and half the world's not real and NIL and the transfer portal and there's so many things to point to and just say, what the hell is going on right now? What happened to everything that I love? But the saving grace of all of it, the saving grace, is that you and I can gather at 7:02 in 9 seconds on the East Coast. And here are obituaries. Here we go. Dead today, the squirrels. A picture from the New York Post has surfaced. Went viral yesterday, well over 1 million interactions. Squirrels are vaping e-cigarettes after mistaking fruity aromas for food. Multiple pictures have surfaced of squirrels that are chowing down, chewing, puffing, hitting, looking incredibly rad while they do it. E-cigarettes and vaping on the sidewalk. Addy, in or out on badass squirrels vaping?
Great for a picture, bad for the squirrels. R.I.P. Squirrels.
Probably not great for the environment, but man, they look really cool in that picture. Dead today. One singular 24-hour period without a joke about Todd Golden and young women. Once again, well, at least one hits the internet every single day. Your next expectation that it won't, you throw it out the window. Shane Tuttle tweets, Florida head coach Todd Golden on missing the Sweet 16. He didn't actually say this. It's a faux quote. It's a parody. It sucks, man. 16 is usually right in my wheelhouse. Dead today. Look up Todd Golden. Look up the Todd Golden controversy. Dead today. Puka Nacua being able to do anything normal. I don't understand what's going on with Puka really ever. Puka Nacua is being accused of making an anti-Semitic comment and biting a girl in Los Angeles. Alleged victim claiming he said F word, the people who are Jewish during a dinner and then later bit her, breaking the skin. TMZ Sports posted a picture of the alleged bite mark. And the alleged victim went to the local police a day later and officially filed an incident report. So, Addy, what do we know? If Puka did something racist, something sexist, something anti-religious.
He'll be back.
And then, well, no, double it. He also, if these are all allegedly, and if he committed a domestic violence, what do we know about those two things?
I still think he's back. I think they fast-track it.
Yeah, surely, if it's just domestic violence, that could be a bit of a problem. If it's just something anti-Semitic, that could also be a little bit of a problem. But as we know in math, if you multiply them, the problem cancels out. And instead, we'll likely give him more money. And on top of that, we will make him all-pro.
Does he have a personal chef, though?
He does probably have a personal chef.
One of the
I
BYU
would like to
chefs?
know what happens behind those doors. We'll look into it on the Drake Toll Show. Dead today, the Texas Rangers City Connect jerseys. All right, Addy, let's get into this one. The Rangers City Connect, per Talking Baseball, has been leaked. It looks like this could be, it's a Tejas jersey, Wyatt Langford. I'm not sure if I believe this is what the City Connect will be. The City was awesome with like the weird eagle lion thing and the creams. It's one of my favorite in Major League Baseball. Yes, the creams. This one's just red jersey, Texas with a J instead of an X.
I'm going to be honest with you. As someone who's
okay.
deep into MLB Twitter, the Rangers fans are very big on dogging on Houston because of its Hispanic population fan base. So now they want to embrace it. That's a little BS to me, is all I'm going to say.
Oh, so you don't think the Rangers can embrace Spanish heritage?
That team, that fan base, not saying everybody, but enough to where it's like...
The roster?
Look at that roster. I told you yesterday during a break what your problem is going to be heading into the... We talked about this, and You Better You Bet talks about this all the
Too
time.
many white
Tyler
guys?
Morales will be like, look at the Latino to white ratio on the team.
Too many white guys. Yeah, well, Josh Spores won them the last World Series against the Diamondbacks, if that even counts. As a Rangers fan, it pains me to say it, but ugh.
Just want the hats back.
The hats?
You know what hats?
Tetas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about those.
Those are great.
The ass hat. Oh, the A's. Thank you for that.
That's the best thing that the Rangers have ever done. Past that, kill it with fire.
I don't think that was the Rangers. I think that was the Fanatics, right? Yeah.
They're ruining everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking that away, by the way, I think was like the worst thing they could have done. By the way, I'm just going to read you some names here, okay? You ready?
Read me
this?
some names.
Jake Berger.
Yes.
Cody Freeman.
Jake Berger hits bombs.
Josh Young. Jock Peterson. Corey Seager. Josh Smith. Saw, dude.
Dude's rough.
Evan Carter. Wyatt Langford. Brandon Nimmo. Should I go to the pitchers? Tyler Alexander.
Yeah.
Jalen Beeks. Cody Bradford. Mackenzie Gore.
Voices
Chris
evolving too.
Martin. Jack
This
Leiter.
sounds like a World Series winning roster. Thank you. Thank you, next. Thank you, next.
This sounds like the next cast of Outer Banks.
Quickly, because I really want to get to this today. Biggest, sorry, I'm just reading. I'm reading the teleprompter. Also dead today, USF's sense of humor. Brian Hodgson, he's been hired from USF to go to Providence. He told the exact same joke at his press conference at USF about recruiting and his wife, and no one laughed. Everyone thought it was really awkward. Here's what it sounded like when he told the same joke in his press conference at Providence yesterday.
I want to thank my family. Steve talked about it. My better half, my beautiful spouse here, Jordan, my son Jet, who you'll hear plenty throughout this speech. If you ever want to question my recruiting abilities, just take a look at my wife, Jordan.
Last time he told the joke at USF when he got hired, no one laughed. No one clapped. It was just really awkward and weird. No one clapped. Those are our biggest losers today. Time for the quickie. Top 5 headlines in all of sports. Addy Bates reads them. Drake Toll responds.
Those were our obituaries.
What did I say?
Biggest losers.
What's happening to me today?
You didn't even talk about Samba. I'm really sad about that.
We can get to Samba later during Idiots. If
Samba's not an idiot, though. Samba's my goat.
Idiot. Cool. Samba.
Samba. Yeah. Here's your first headline. Bengals, 41-year-old Joe Flacco agree on a 1-year deal.
Guess who's back? Back again. He was just a Cleveland Brown. The streets forget he was a Cleveland Brown. Joe Flacco is ageless, timeless. Age is truly just a number. Leonardo DiCaprio would hate Joe Flacco. Todd Golden would hate Joe Flacco. You ever seen Diddy and Joe Flacco in the same room together? Didn't think so. And you won't. Joe Flacco's back. 41 years old, is that what you said?
Yes.
He'll be 42 next season. Oh! Do you think? I hope he's listening right now. Joe, you can hang it up. What's he playing for? What's left? Like, Phillip Rivers had to play for a long time because of all of his kids. I don't think Joe Flacco has 10 kids.
Money.
Yeah, the money's great. But just go have a foundation or something. I don't know.
A nonprofit?
Yeah, only a couple of those foundations and nonprofits are real. Everyone's got. Will you ever wonder why every NFL player has a foundation? Not because they're philanthropic. Some of them are. Some of them. Most of them are just doing it for tax purposes. Everyone's got a foundation. Once you hit $1 million, you should open a foundation. And that is my response to Joe Flacco being back in the NFL. That's a minute.
Second headline, NBPA calls for 65-game rule change, citing Cunningham's case.
It's going to become so subjective. Well, the guy played 49 games, but they were a really good 49 games, so he should be all NBA. And I don't. Yeah, I get it. Cade Cunningham should have a myriad of awards this year because it feels right. But that's the problem is we're talking about what it feels like. Well, it feels like Cade Cunningham should have. And I don't know if that should be the metric we use to decide who gets awards in the NBA. If you can't play 65 games out of 82, do you deserve an honor? I think there should still be a number. Move it to 60, but leave the number. That's a minute.
I don't know if you saw this. Frank Thomas files a suit against the White Sox, Nike, and Fanatics.
Oh.
Is that good?
What's happening to Frank Thomas?
So they were using his name on these new jerseys, the City Connect 2.0. And so he wants $50,000 because they were using his name and the number 35 on the back with all these trademarks and logos. And I guess they didn't ask him.
Yeah, you probably should ask the guy. You know what? If Frank Thomas has 1 million fans, I am one. If he has 1 fan, I am he. If he has no fans, I am dead. I'm a big Frank Thomas guy, so I'm rooting for him in this. Frank, my prayers are with you. Also, the other 3 brands that you mentioned, they got enough money. Have you seen what the owner of Fanatics does?
Yes.
He's the guy who hosts these white parties, these all-white parties.
Yes.
That is in reference to clothing. But
I think it's hosted at Globe Life Field, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, no, it's on his yacht. But yeah, I'm rooting for Frank Thomas here.
Here's your next headline: Grizzlies rule Ja Morant's season over due to left elbow injury.
No, please, no. Oh, you're telling me I can't see Ja Morant and the Grizzlies lose more this season? No. Oh, this is why no one's watching the NBA nowadays, because Ja Morant can't seem to win a game. Oh, and they won't let him have guns. That's my problem. They won't let Ja Morant carry a gun to the NBA arena. If they could just let him have a gun whenever he wanted to, he'd be fine. Wouldn't have to rest his leg. Yeah, they're not a contender, and I don't need to see Ja Morant play. And, oh, by the way, if I was going to watch him play, it'd be on NBA TV, FanDuel Network Plus anyway. So I'm good.
Final headline: LA spoils Tigers return, tops Jupiter Lynx for TGL title.
Wow, if you didn't watch this, I'm telling you this right now. If you didn't sit your ass down last night and turn the TV on and watch the TGA, if you didn't sit down and take time, block out time to watch Jupiter Lynx and LA duke it out inside of a stagnant, stale, little tiny small boy arena, you're the idiot of the day. It's an American staple, the Tiger Woods Golf League. That's sarcasm. I still don't get it. I tried. There's unique scoring. They're all laughing and having fun. Tiger missed a putt yesterday. But nothing moves. Nothing moves. It sits right there. We don't ever go anywhere. It's just like Matt Berry in a small confined space. They put Matt Berry in a closet, and he's like, well, they're going to swing from the same spot again, but this time the TV's different. I don't need to watch that. I can go do that at the local bar at the golf simulator. I want to watch you walk the course. I want to take a nap over the course of 9 hours on a Sunday. I don't want to watch golf in a simulator. I don't want to watch someone else play simulator golf on a Tuesday. I don't. Ugh. Literally opening day, but TGA's a headline, or whatever the hell they call it.
TGL.
TGL's a headline. 6th headline, MLB opening day, and dudes rock again.
Opening night.
Yeah, okay. Tomorrow's opening day.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitively. Yeah. Like a branding standpoint. Okay. Yeah. Addy Bates. That was it. Top 5 headlines in all of sports. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Quickie is over. Coming up on the Drake Toll Show. Let's go into the Sweet 16. Texas and Purdue. I think Texas wins. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles. Your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Tournament 10.
See clear as the light of day. Running on curves cause I'm out of luck, and I'm tucking my tail and running away. I'd rather face the good God Almighty, have mercy on me when it comes across in a good godly woman. That just scares the devil right out of me. Seems so well. Walking a line never made more sense, cause this good godly woman is better than hell. I'd rather face the good God Almighty, have mercy on me when it comes across in the good godly woman. That just scares the devil right out of me. Good God Almighty, have mercy on me when it comes across in a good godly man feeling old. That old love you still remember, that you deep down in your soul. Lost that girl down in New Orleans, chasing some old voodoo dream. Levee broke on Whiskey River, got me trying to swim upstream. Getting tired of going crazy, headed back to Tennessee. I gotta crawl on out of this river, oh, it drowned me in the sea. Shotgun Willie on stereo, words speaking right to my heart. If I keep reaching for that bottle, it's gonna tear my world apart. Getting tired of going crazy, heading back to Tennessee. I gotta crawl on out of that river, oh, it drowned me in the sea.
Gravity, John Mayer.
Rosie, come down and get the door for me. I'm drunk again, remember when we used to be. Rosie, I know you said no more for me, but that was all before this dream that just came to me.
Touch yourself.
Don't leave me here under the January rain.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Where's the cutoff point here?
I can just listen to the whole thing.
You know what started this is when I was a young chap. We'd go to Carthage, Arkansas, and we'd hunt deer. Yeah, they were out there. We'd track them down. And we would listen to Bill Vickery on Sundays on 103.7 The Buzz. And what Vickery would do is he would, every rejoin, he'd play a song through the first chorus. And every day in his hours-long show, I would learn 2 new songs that I'd add to my playlist, right? I'd hear 2 songs that I hated more than anything in the world, and then there'd be 4 in the middle that I'm just like, okay, this is a fine song. And if I can get 2 new songs a day to my playlist, oh my gosh. What an absolute banger ratio. Banger, hardly know her. And so if this show can become kind of this variety program, you're like, you know what, I hated that song. That's okay. Because the next one will be John Mayer, Your Body is a Wonderland, which is what that was.
That was Rosie.
You can download that. He's a buttery guy, isn't he? Whatever happened to him?
The Swifties are going to come after me. I might not be here tomorrow.
Oh, what happened to John Mayer and the Swifties?
Oh, God, because they're like, he was older than Taylor Swift, so they hate him.
Did they date? Did they date?
Yeah, they hate all of her exes because apparently everybody was so awful, terrible, and she never did anything wrong.
Right, she's never been the problem.
Yeah, they did date.
They'll be part of the problem. I think that Texas is going to beat Purdue. Curtis, did you get that video I sent you for Obituaries and didn't play?
Yeah, I did.
As a small pick-me-up, a small treat for myself, I found this morning, Addie. I think you're gonna appreciate this actually, and it made me really happy. And it's a great lead-in. Texas legend. This is why Texas is going to win. Reba McEntire, not only still alive, still kicking, but still kicking ass. Listen to her latest video, little house video that she released of her singing.
That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. That's the night that they hung an innocent man. So don't trust your soul to no backwoods southern lawyer. 'Cause the judge in the town's got blood
Reba McEntire. Foxy lady, man. People are always
Born in
like,
Oklahoma, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. I just needed a segue there to get into it because I saw that. I was proud of Reba this morning. I wanted Reba to know I was proud of her. People are like, oh, John Mayer is so much older than Taylor Swift. Look, man, if Reba asked me on a date, touch yourself. Come on. It's Reba McEntire, man. Reba, wherever you are, I'm shooting my shot. Here I am.
Reba, don't. Reba,
send me.
Turn off the radio. Protect
Don't
yourself.
turn off the radio, Reba.
Reba,
Please.
just you.
Leave the radio on.
Reba, don't listen to him.
What a piece of
Turn the
this.
radio on.
That ball had a family, a wife, 4 kids, living in the suburbs.
That's all I want, Reba. A wife and 4 kids living in the suburbs.
Golly. 4
I-
kids?
I'm adopting 2 of them
Angelina Jolie style.
and teaching them sign language. Jolie style, yeah. Jolene wasn't about Reba, right? Nah, Reba's too young
No,
for that.
Angelina Jolie is what he said.
Oh, Angelina. She had 4 kids?
She adopted like half of them. Not that there's
Oh.
anything wrong with adoption, but why 4 kids, Drake? You already have like 7 dogs and 4 cats.
Because if
and
you have
For
one
the-
kid, you need 3 more for them to play with.
For the dogs to play with. Correct. Yes.
Big total logic.
Yes.
By the way, Drake travels all the time, so sorry, kids. Your father's not going to be around.
They can watch Dad on TV or listen to Dad on the radio. They can talk
We
to their
keeping
dad
a
for
book right
3
now?
hours.
Yes.
They can talk to Dad for 3 hours every morning.
They'll actually have to talk to me first to figure out your schedule.
Yep, they're going to have to call you and see when I'm free. Because I
They're going
can't.
to start
They
thinking
can't.
Curtis is their dad.
They can't talk to me. They're gonna have to call Addie. But can I please speak to? No, I don't have time. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. That's not Cat Stevens, is it?
No,
Little
you get this
boy,
wrong every
blue
time. That's Harry
and
Chapin.
Harry Chapin. I do think Texas will win. The eyes of Texas are on you. And so I'm buying now. I'm in. I was born and raised to sell the Texas Longhorns. Or Arkansas, we didn't like Texas. And it was because of a Southwest Conference rivalry. And now the rivalry is back. And the rivalry is back in the SEC. But I'm putting all the guns down. I am trucing with Texas. I don't hate them, and I don't really care. I've told you. Oh, man, that guy hates my team. He always talking mean about my team. No, I hate every team equally. I want every team to lose equally. But I want Texas. I want Purdue to lose a little bit more than I want Texas to this week. I love the Braden Smith guy, by the way. Purdue, he's one of the coolest stories in college sports. Arkansas Tech legend, Braden Smith. He is now the NCAA leader in assists, or he's on the precipice of it if he hasn't broke. He is. I think he's the NCAA all-time leader now. He is the epitome of what college basketball is built for. Not an NBA guy, probably never going to make it in the league. 4 years at Purdue, bet on yourself, go there and just pass the ball a lot. Be the savvy, short white guy that just passes the ball. 6 foot, 170 pounds, 14 points a game, 9 assists per game, which is second in America out of 363 teams. So yeah, I could wax poetic all day about Braden Smith. I like him. But the 11 seed Texas, the 2 seed Purdue, and San Jose, California is – it's like if Cinderella – Texas has kind of got this Taylor Frankie Paul thing going on. Like this, they are now all of a sudden you're like, underdog? What? Why? When have they ever been an underdog? What are you talking about? Like, well, Texas, yeah, they have a lot of star power, but they've been on some tough times. They're an 11 seed, barely snuck into the tournament. Now here they are playing number 2 Purdue. And 2 seed Purdue, top 10, top 8 Purdue. But I think that Texas is this like momentum carrier. Where in March, that is the mark. That's why I think Virginia probably beats TCU on the women's side, in the women's bracket. In March, there is this first 4 momentum from UCLA in 2021 to NC State in 2024. We have seen first 4 teams that just go on these stupid long runs because they say, oh, guess it's March and all bets are off and we can just go win if we want to. And Texas in the regular season allowed 77 points per game. And in the postseason against pretty good teams, NC State, BYU, the number 1 player in America, Gonzaga, That number's plummeted to 68 points per game. That's a 9-point difference, and against really good competition, too. Gonzaga's a top 15 team. BYU's a top 25 team. NC State is NC State. The Longhorns' defensive efficiency, by the way, has come from their 3-point defense. They went from outside. Listen to this. This is the metric. This is the thing to know. If you're a Purdue fan, you're like, oh no, I think Purdue's going to win. Or if you're a Texas fan, if you're a big Lovejoy guy and you're listening right now, thinking, man, I love them Longhorns. I'm glad he's talking about them. Listen to this. Here's the stat to bring to your work, to your office today. The Longhorns' defensive efficiency has surged from outside the top 100 into the Ken Pom top 20 over the last 2 weeks. The eye that has the heart upon you. Their defensive efficiency from outside the top 100 in Ken Pom to inside the top 20 in the last 2 weeks. They're holding opponents, this is specifically 3-point defense, and they're holding opponents 25.9% from three. That is catastrophic if you're Purdue. It's catastrophic for Gonzaga and BYU and NC State. This is a Texas team against Matt Painter and company, who is as hot as it gets on the side of the ball that matters most, and it's defense. If I hold you to 0, but I score 2, I win the game. And Texas, in March Madness, wouldn't mind doing that. This is the same Texas team that lost to Ole Miss in the SEC tournament. I thought that after a blowout loss to Arkansas, blowout loss at home to Florida, after a loss to Oklahoma at home, after a loss by 10 to Ole Miss, hapless Ole Miss in the SEC tournament, Texas wouldn't even get in. I thought they did not deserve to get in. But now they're here, and they're wreaking havoc on some of the best teams in the country, like the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Vokatitis has been a dog. 7-foot, 255 kid from Lithuania. And in the tournament, he has bullied Gonzaga. He bullied BYU, specifically bullied BYU. Jordan Pope down to the bench. Kendall Weaver, 19 minutes against Gonzaga. 8 points in that game. He's the most frustrating player in the country to watch. He's been at Texas for 8 years. His hairline is infuriating. It drives me up a wall. I used to, when I was in college, I would watch Kendall. I think we're the same age. I would watch him every year play Baylor. He's got the Perry Ellis syndrome, where he looks 50 and has been in college basketball for forever. That's Kendall Weaver. But man, as much as I would love to hate, and I've told you sometimes you hate things you don't understand, as much as I would love to hate, Kendall Weaver's a dog. And he, off the bench, is a major catalyst for why Texas is in the position they're in. He's a plug-and-play Energizer bunny, and his defense he's just the clean-it-up, scrappy guy. Now, Purdue, and I told you, Braden, but Purdue's good. You have to be at this point in the season. Tremont Mark, Jordan Pope, though, I think it's the speed of Texas, the speed of their defense, and how Vokatitis can attack the bigs of Purdue. Because you know Purdue, they love their drop coverage. 7'4" big man out there. I get it. But if you've got a Texas team, a stop-and-pop Texas team, a Jordan Pope, whose defense is on lock, whose offense is stop and pop or get it down low to Vokatitis, and I understand Purdue has a lot of big men, and that's how Purdue does things, how Matt Painter does things. But Vokatitis has proven to be maybe the best big man in all of March Madness, the hottest big man in all of March Madness. So neutralizing the Purdue bigs, and once the bigs are neutralized, limiting Purdue on the perimeter, which Texas has done all tournament. You can't shoot threes against them. You can't make threes against them, 25.9%. The mixture of those two things seems to work out in Texas' favor. And then offensively, stop and pop Jordan Pope. If he puts up 17, but Purdue puts up 15, as a team, Texas wins the game by 2. And that's what the Longhorns are happy to do. Let's slow the game down a little bit. Neutralize the Purdue bigs. rely on our best, on what's working best for us right now, our perimeter defense, and then score 70 points, 65 points. If that's all it takes, it's all it takes. As long as you score less than that. And that's how they beat NC State, 68-66. BYU, one of the highest scoring teams in America, only put up 71. Gonzaga, 68. Texas is just, hey, we don't have to score that much as long as you don't. This is kind of a matchup nightmare for Purdue. And I like the Texas Longhorns, a double-digit seed, to move on in March Madness. This game's tomorrow night, 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be a good one. It'll be close. Texas wins 71-67 over Purdue. So they're short of the 140 mark combined. The total is 148.5. I'm going under on that. I'm going under on it. You didn't ask for a betting pick, but I gave you one anyway. Around the bend, MLB opening day. It's tomorrow. Opening night is tonight. Yankees, Giants, 8 o'clock. Oh, let's break it down. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
The landscape of the NFL.
I'd like to dedicate this song to my partner, soul partner, Mr. Duck Sound, better known as the Sir Douglas Quintet from San Antonio. Wherever you are, brother. Wasted days and wasted nights I have left for you behind, for you don't belong to me. Your heart belongs to someone else. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're to blame for making me blue? Don't you remember the day that you went away and left me? I was so lonely, prayed for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're to blame for making me blue? So lonely, prayed for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're to blame for making me blue?
Now one of these days I'll wake up tired of the life I'm living and feel inspired to get off my ass and be on my way. One of these days I'll wake up steady and ready to go like Richard Petty. I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, one of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, one of these days I'm coming up to it, gonna put my foot right down and do it. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. I made a change. One of these days I'm bound for glory, and that's the moral of this whole story. I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, one of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, one of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie, what did it feel like when in the Superdome you were sitting there and had a couple of adult beverages, and then you heard Jordan Belfort come on over the loudspeakers in front of 70,000 people?
I felt like I was on something, except that I couldn't have been because there's a million kids around. It was a trip and a half, that's for sure. You got to be in on an inside joke at a Savannah Bananas game, where you may have been the only person out of 70,000 who knew what was going on. And my friends, they knew. They knew.
It's a joke for like 5 people.
Right, but it's still just a fun song. So, it worked out for her, but nobody was confused. It was like, yeah, the song rocks. It's like, yeah, you have no idea why we're playing it, but Addie Bates does. She's sitting right there.
Curtis, I have to, by the way, paint this picture for you. They only play like 3 seconds of like every song ever, and it'll just stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. So you get like Baby Shark, you get Whopper, and then you'll get like Jordan Belfort, and then you get like, it's...
Did you say Whopper, Women, Yama?
Yeah.
All right. Play the hits.
Curtis, I told my friends it's like the scene. I don't know if you've ever seen A Clockwork Orange, but little Alex, like with his eyes all like, he's like, oh my God. They're like just forcing all this stuff.
Like a fever dream?
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. Like I was, I think I kind of got like anxious. I think I almost had like a panic attack. I was like, what is going on?
Tonight, the Yankees, the Giants kick off the Major League Baseball season on Netflix, of course. It is a serious issue. I talked to the guys at Barrett Media yesterday. I joined their podcast. And the consensus is the MLB's got to streamline it a little bit better as teams are ebbing and flowing. Yeah, I'm FanDuel Network, and then FanDuel Network goes under. I'm Bally, and then Bally goes under. Okay, what are we all doing? Let's all figure it out. In market, out of market. And as much as I would love to talk Yankees and Giants, and we can, Addie, I don't think either of these teams, Tony Vitello making his debut as an MLB manager, I don't think either of these teams are up to snuff to beat the Dodgers. I don't think either of these teams are going to beat the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are still so clearly better than everybody else in Major League Baseball that there is no chance the Dodgers don't win the World Series.
Well, I think so both of these teams, what's different between like them and the Rangers, let's say, between the A's, between other organizations, is that these teams are both in very good divisions. The AL East, every team got significantly better. Maybe not the Red Sox. They were kind of disappointing this offseason, but every team got significantly better. The Orioles are one of my favorite offseason teams. What they did to that team, now they didn't get a number one ace like they were supposed to, but they changed that team. Whereas the Giants, okay, now we're in the NL West. The Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Rockies.
The Rockies.
You know, it's okay. Participation trophy. The Rockies will be better than they were last year, but I mean, I feel like you could just have a team full of blind cats like Sinatra, and they would just be as better than last year. But the Giants are in a difficult division.
We didn't get the Padres in there. So.
Yeah, the Padres are going to be good too. They have to be. They have to be because of all of the prospects they traded away. The Padres are going to be good. They're going to be competitive, but their divisions are really difficult. And yes, the Dodgers are still the Dodgers. They're going to Dodger. Their acquisition of Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz. These are good names to have on your team. They didn't even need Kyle Tucker. They really did not need him. They're just, hey, we can afford him. Why not bring him to the team? So that's what this Giants team and this Yankees team, that's the crazy part about it. I think they'll both be in the postseason. I see both teams in this postseason. The Yankees more than the Giants. I do like this Giants roster. Tony Vitello's going to have to do a lot of stuff, but he has a lot of people behind him who I like on that coaching staff.
Who? Can I give you... I can't decide which is worse. It might be 2007. The 2007 MLB All-Star team from the NL.
Mm-hmm.
I think they lose to the Dodgers in a 7-game series. 2008, they might as well. We're like, this is kind of crazy. Russell Martin, young Prince Fielder, prime Chase Utley, I would say, 07, prime Chase Utley. We're still not beating the Dodgers here. David Wright, he's still fairly, he's prime maybe, David Wright. Jose Reyes, then Carlos Beltran. I mean, that's young. It's still pretty young, David Wright, Jose Reyes. Old man Barry Bonds, old man Ken Griffey Jr. The fact that Barry Bonds and Ken Griffey Jr. are all-stars in 07, not a good sign. Not good for your team.
What about the 2026 Venezuela team versus the Dodgers?
I think the Dodgers would win a 7-game series, no doubt, for sure. I really do believe that. The Dominican Republic, you give that team 162 MLB games, they win 130. Their pitching isn't as... The Dodgers actually might have better pitching than the Dominican Republic national team, so there's that. But I do think the bats of the Dominican would be... That team was so stupid. I don't think enough folks understood what they were watching with the Dominican.
I think the one thing that people are forgetting, though, is that the Blue Jays were just like one slide away, just a foot away from beating the Dodgers. That's the thing. In the World Series, the Blue Jays were a really good team, and they will be a good team. Now, they have some pitching struggles heading into opening day because they have so many pitchers on the IL with random injuries. Trey Savage, which he was amazing in the postseason. So I do think other teams are going to be competitive. I do think that there are going to be teams who are going to give the Dodgers a run for their money. I feel like the World Baseball Classic showed us that, hey, you don't have to have this all-star team in order to win, because the United States, they looked terrible versus Venezuela. They did not look great versus the Dominican Republic. Aaron Judge, oh my Lord. They should have benched his ass. So, I do think there are teams who can beat the Dodgers, though.
By the way, old man John Schmaltz, also an all-star in 07.
Schmaltz.
Let's find the oldest players possible and make them all all-stars.
I like it.
It's 2007. Addie, okay. Yes, on the Blue Jays' point, they're a good team. They're a competitive contender, again, for the World Series. And they can contend with I think here's the problem, though. Anyone can contend for 3 games, 6 games with the Dodgers. Anyone, because it's baseball. It's the nature of baseball. They could play the White Sox tomorrow and drop 2 out of 6. Would they? Probably not. They could. Why? It's baseball. That's what happens in baseball. And at the pro level, you're even enough that just some days, wasn't our day today. Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to burn the whole thing down. So my question would be, were the Blue Jays really that close? They're not. They're not. From a roster standpoint, the Blue Jays are not 3 wins out of 7 against the Dodgers. From a standpoint of this is baseball, they are. But the Dodgers are head over heels, leagues better than the Yankees, than the Blue Jays, than the Mets, than the Mariners. Like, and all those teams are good. And any given regular year, they're all in that top 5 conversation of, they should probably win the World Series. Here's the problem. The 2026 All-Star team, every single one of them from the NL plays for one team, and it's the Dodgers. So I think the only thing that keeps, okay, yeah, they're all contenders, so they could be competitive with the Dodgers, is less indicative of their roster and more indicative of the parity of the game of baseball. Am I wrong?
Here's the deal. I also think that with the Dodgers lineup, it's going to look a little different. Roki Sasaki, terrible in spring training. What was he? He was great in the postseason. He really saved that Dodgers team in a lot of, when he came out of the pen, legendary. I think Yamamoto's going to be good. Ohtani is going to Ohtani. I do like the lineup. How can you not like a multi-billion-dollar lineup? But I do think other teams can still just compete. I think the Blue Jays, I don't even think it was just because it was baseball.
Are they competing due to roster talent or due to baseball just being baseball?
That Blue Jays roster is so talented. I think it's very talented. Come on. Vlad Guerrero Jr., fantastic. I think every player stepped up. George Springer, you have all these all-stars on this team. You have all these all-stars. I loved that team. This Orioles, oh my gosh, you have Pete Alonso with the Orioles now? Yeah, please inject that into my veins. I think there are still some lineups. The Padres do have a good lineup. I mean, man, they're going to be in the hole. They've lost some players. They still have good players on that team. The Mariners, they got better. I think they got better. Yeah, you lost Jorge Polanco. Okay, big deal. Oof. Yes, I know what he did in the postseason. But there are teams who can still compete.
I'm looking at this Dodgers roster, and it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Who let them get away with this?
That's so, and you know what? Maybe we'll be talking about this next year when opening day is not here.
They have four. I'd say four. 4 aces. 4 guys that are aces anywhere else. That's so stupid. Again, I need, I'm looking at the bats. I'm like, yeah, this is one of the greatest lineups in the history of the league because they paid for it to be. And then you look at, oh, wait, here's the pitching, which is just as good, namely with the guys who will pitch the most innings in 2026, the starters.
Yeah, but look at the Tigers rotation. Skubal, Valdez, Flaherty.
Yeah, correct. No, I know. And that's out of the AL. Yes, there are teams that could compete with, but compete is not being. They're just not on the same plane. The Dodgers are a league better than anybody else in 7 games. I don't like it. I don't like Jim Rome, Westwood One Sports says the Dodgers being this good is good for baseball. I disagree. I like when we have parity. I like when 5 different teams can win it, but it's the Dodgers right now. There's your MLB coverage the rest of this year. Well, the Dodgers won again. They're on pace to win 140 of them. Surely that'll happen. That's Addy Bates. Yeah.
I think their number is 102, by the way, games won, and I like the under in that.
Oh, give me the over. It's the Drake Toll Show.
This is when.
Where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. 'cause I've been in trouble. No pleasure here on earth I find. For in this world I'm bound to ramble. I had no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help me now. It's fare thee well, my old true lover. I never expect to see you again. For I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon that train. Perhaps you'll die upon this train. You can bury me in Sunny Valley for many years where I may lay. And you may learn to love another while I am sleeping in my grave. While he is sleeping in his grave. Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you never see no more. But there is one promise that is given. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore.
Reach out, touch faith. You're alone, personal, Jesus. Someone to be your friend, someone who cares. You're wrong, personal, Jesus.
It is the Drake Toll Show.
Someone to be your friend, someone who cares.
Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. A little Depeche Mode for you. Touch what? Touch yourself. Reach out and touch faith. Addie, one of my favorite bands, Watch House, just released a bunch of new additions to their tour, their Rituals tour. Mind looking at my schedule and corroborating with these dates when I'm free?
I'm too busy listening to Dave Gahan. This is one of my tattoos. One of my tattoos, this album.
Really?
Yeah, down my spine.
Okay, Addie. Producer does not mean secretary. People need to... Sorry, I don't realize that more often.
I'm focused on Depeche Mode.
I'll go in there and I'll corroborate my schedule with... Actually, you probably do know my schedule better than I know my schedule. So that
Yeah,
piece
my
is
therapist would agree.
a bit of a struggle for me. Wow.
Really is like, you know how people say like, the wife in a relationship, like, the husband be like, oh my gosh, where's this, where's that? Wife's like, oh, it's in the third drawer on the right underneath this shirt. Oh, it's here, it's on the counter. My mom can tell you where anything is in that house. My dad's like, oh my God, I don't know where my tie is. She's like, oh, it's in the second drawer, like far right corner.
And
That's how
that's
I
what this
feel.
that's what this show is when Curtis starts losing things.
That's just how I feel with here. Like, you think, oh my God, what I have on this day. I'm like, oh, you have your haircut appointment, and then you have a meeting with Armin and I, and then you have to fly out.
I do fly out a lot, and I do have a lot of haircuts. Which haircuts are getting stupid expensive nowadays, too.
How much do you pay?
$47. Every few weeks. All right, whoa. Curtis, what do you pay?
I paid $30 2 days ago.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's
I pay $75.
Wow. Because usually female haircuts, girl haircuts, dude haircuts, usually women's haircuts are upwards of $250.
Well, I don't dye my hair. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't do none of that.
All natural.
Mm-hmm.
Time for our idiots of the day.
Idiot of the day.
Idiot of the day number one, me. For not telling you about Tidal Car Wash. Pollen season is here, but a dirty car doesn't have to be. Wash it away at Tidal Wave Auto Spa for a quick wash and that clean car happy feeling. Find a location at TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. There is pollen all over my car. It's infuriating. I went to Kroger yesterday. Was that yesterday? I went somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm high rolling these days, so I went to Kroger. I got paid this week, so I went to Kroger. And I was in the parking lot and thought, man, my car is yellow. There's just nothing but pollen all over it.
Bananas.
Thankfully, as soon as the show is over, I'm going to TidalWaveAutoSpa.com to find a location near me. Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Idiot of the day, Dan Orlovsky. He's done it again. He's out there complaining, oh, come on. Come on, you don't have to go. Don't be mean to me. Don't be mean to me on Twitter. You guys are so mean. Choose kindness. He doubled down. Here's what he had to say to Pat McAfee yesterday. Here's Dan Orlovsky on ESPN about Ty Simpson being his first overall pick.
To the comment of, it seems like everybody on earth thinks that Fernando Mendoza is their first quarterback or quarterback one. That's not true. I can factually tell you that that's not a real thing.
Like Tannenbaum, yeah.
No.
And everyone at CAA.
CAA, certainly, yeah. CAA. I don't like that they're saying that about you. I don't think that's fair. Genuinely, I don't think that's fair.
I would just like for everybody, again, so I pay attention to, I see a lot of the things that get said. I don't address them all type of thing, but the agents work for us, not the other way around, just so everybody knows. They're employed by us. Respectfully, that's how the business model is. CAA is a very big agency. They have a lot of people. That's all I'll say on that.
Okay, good. I do think it's pretty unfair just to naturally piece you together because CA does have people that have Fernando as the number one guy as well, and it's like, well, you don't think they're telling them. So it is fascinating that you take that. But on that note, I think it's because it does feel like you have to be getting paid by somebody to come as strong as you're coming right now with Ty Simpson, with how Fernando potentially finished the year last year and played his football kind of life at Indiana.
I would just say I'm not nearly important enough to CAA financially for them to pay me to say something about a guy who might be the 20th pick in the draft.
So nobody to be clear here, and here's some insider information. I am CAA, Drake Toll of the Drake Toll Show. My agent is CAA. Always sounds so weird, so pompous saying my agent. I don't know if I would enter this show and say he works for me. That's the way the industry works. He works for me. All right. I'm not going to go that far.
It was still kind of a non-denial too.
Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on that guy, but it was a non-denial. It wasn't a. He said they're not paying me to say these things. No, they wouldn't pay him to say these things. But there is some people. This is what oh my gosh, I'm about to cook. Hold on, preheat the oven. I'm about to cook. There are some people who they hear and I think Dan Orlovsky might be this kind of personality. He seems like this kind of goober. There are some people who are like, oh, I have an agent? I need to make them happy. I'm a CAA? That's the same as Beyonce and Saquon Barkley. Oh boy, I hope I can make them happy today. For me, my relationship with my agent is not like he's my boss or I'm his boss. It's not like he works for me. We're friends. And he's like a huge networking guy. He's really good at what he does. We stay in our own lanes. We intersect at a very mutual, agreeable point. Never would he say, hey, man, you got to have this opinion. So I don't believe that CAA is telling Dan Orlovsky that you have to have this opinion. I don't think his agent's telling him you have to have this opinion. What I do think is happening is Dan Orlovsky's just that guy that he says, oh, my gosh, the line leader today in class, they asked me how my day was. And now he gets so excited that he spends the rest of the day trying to appease the line leader, just to feel something important. What Dan doesn't know is the line leader changes every day. Everyone gets to be line leader 3 times throughout the year. It's your big day to be line leader, and tomorrow it's Caroline's day to be line leader, and then it's Dan's day to be line leader. And then what Dan wants to do is make sure the line leader, who never asked him to do this, is happy. That CAA, oh man, I hope my agency is happy. Oh. I need to talk about Ty Simpson because he's CAA alongside me. So I don't think they're asking him to do this. I think he's just doing it because Dan Orlovsky doesn't know how to handle himself. Doesn't know how to handle sports media. It would be Stephen A. Smith does it on purpose. Fran Fraschilla tweeted that out the other day. He's like, hey, Stephen A.'s show is meant to make you feel something. It's meant to be jarring. It's meant to be poppy and kind of clickbaity. But that's strategy. It's intentional. He wants you to lean into. I mean, I'm watching ESPN right now on the TV, and it's Dan Orlovsky talking about Ty Simpson again. Why do we need this? Who needs this? Stephen A. Smith does it intentionally. He knows what he's doing. It's strategic, and that guy is calculated. I don't think Dan Orlovsky's calculated. I think he's just saying stuff. And that's the difference. Ryan Clark. I think Ryan Clark's just saying stuff. Jason Whitlock's just saying stuff. That's the difference between what Dan Orlovsky's doing and what a guy like Stephen A. is doing. Dan is just bowing down to 3 letters, not because they're asking him to, but because he thinks it's going to make him more important and more special. It's not, Dan. It just makes you look like a bad analyst. And no one else to say that, well, it's unequivocally false that Mendoza's first overall. But according to who? Dan Orlovsky? Because I don't trust you right now. According to who? Idiot of the day. Let's dip into the Panthers press conference. Carolina EVP of football operations, Brant Tillis, was stunned and bewildered. Here's the audio from his press conference. Oh, Somebody didn't read the rundown, huh? On the one day that I do. Old Curtis Poindexter runs the board. We'll
What
get
am
to
I
that in a
even
second.
here for?
Thanks, Addie. Good to see you. All right, here's that audio. He works fast, folks.
Dennis Cox, followed by Alex Zitlow.
For opening week, so you can customize how you experience the game. Make your choice. The reward will be ready for you to use on your next MLB bet. FanDuel.
Alex Zitlow.
.com/local. FanDuel.com/local.
Dennis, you're okay.
Winning week. FanDuel, official partner of the MLB. 21 and over and present in North Carolina.
Is this normal?
No, I haven't heard that before.
Bonus and token expiration.
Brant, I'll just go ahead with my question here. So
the guy, Brant Tillis, who never gets an interview because he's Brant Tillis, is waiting on his Zoom call. And I've been there. When you're in the media, what you typically do is turn your camera off and you turn your microphone off, and you have to raise your hand to these Zoom calls. I've been in a million of them that suck. They're so bad. You have to raise your hand to these Zoom calls. And so one reporter, obviously trying to knock things out, relentlessly resourceful, getting his job done, he's unmuted and trying to record his radio hits for the day. Brought to you, we've all been there.
Sponsored by Robinhood?
Yeah, I've been on Teams calls where I mute myself, plug the microphone in, and sponsored by Robinhood. Kyler Murray, no longer an Arizona Cardinal. He's headed to the Minnesota Vikings. While someone's just in the distance like, yeah, our Q1 numbers are looking okay. We need a surplus of production on the merchandising side, as they're just waxing poetic, all boring like. I'm over there talking about, hold on. Tidal Car Wash. Pollen season is here. Except this guy had his microphone unmuted. Idiot. It earns you a spot on Idiot of the Day. Our very own Josh Graham is an Idiot of the Day today. Oh! Friendly fire. Duck and roll, everybody.
Did he tickle someone?
He tickled a lot of people. Luckily, he asked for permission before he tickled anyone, and that's a great lesson in life. Always ask for tickling permission in the professional world. Ty Wilkerson tweets at Josh Graham, what are the chances Hubert just coached his final game for UNC? Josh retweets, 0% chance UNC makes a coaching change. 0. Nor should they. This game notwithstanding, VCU, Hubert did a nice job with his team. Ooh! Old Takes Exposed has now captured, retweeted, and put on blast our own Josh Graham for tripling down that Hubert Davis was not fired. Josh told us on this show on Monday that his source was probably wrong, and that ultimately there was a very good chance Hubert Davis would be canned, and he has been fired. Hubert Davis has been fired. Sorry, Josh. Idiot of the day. You can pass it down to your sourcing. And finally, Idiot of the day. Whoever made this graphic, I'm going to say it. We'll pay for the. I'll pay for the penalty if I have to. Alex. Oh my gosh, Alex Ovechkin. His lower third. What a lower third is they show a player on TV and the little bloop, the little word bubble pops up at the bottom of the screen. This is lower third, and this is they're putting his records and accolades from his career up. On November 5th, 2025, he became the first player with 900 regular season goals. The title of this graphic says, Shardering the record books. I think they added an extra R in there. Looking for shattering. We got shardering.
We keeping the book right now. We ask.
For Alex Ovechkin, Ovi, sharding. All
Wow,
over
that
the
would
place.
tickled you.
All over these record books. He's just shardering everywhere. I'm just imagining that the record books are now tainted.
I don't like that word. I don't like that word, actually.
That pun is intended. Oh, it's great. I've got a couple minutes here to collect myself. Joseph Duarte joins the show, The Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, all the way from the Houston Chronicle to talk the University of Houston and the Big 12 in March Madness. Houston, Arizona, Iowa State still alive out of the conference. Here's why Houston is going to put the hurt on in the Sweet 16. This is the Drake Tolles Show.
March Madness continues.
In the town of North Texas on a ride, 100 miles east of the state line, 200 clicks from the old quarry, and west of those windy old pines, 900 miles south of the border, and 300 north of the other one. Between the lake and the rolling hills, 93 million miles from the sun. Won't you take me home to North Texas on a ride? Won't you take me there to where the birds sing with a smooth vibrato in Texas on a ride? 5,000 miles from a big city where the crocodiles and the cacti grow. Go west on Interstate 35, take 4 rights and you're back on that road. Take a left, take a left, take another left, then another left, head east and you're heading home to North Texas on a ride, the town where the dodos roam. Won't you take me home to North Texas on a ride? Won't you take me there to where the birds sing with a smooth vibrato in Texas on a ride?
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, locked on Big 12, and absolutely locked in on March Madness. Namely out of the Big 12, right? I think 3 Final Four teams. And I picked 3 Final Four teams out of that conference in my bracket, but I think 3 Final Four teams reside, and they're all 3 still alive in the Sweet 16. One of the most dominant, and I don't think you can put them above Arizona. Certainly you can't. They lost head-to-head in the Big 12 Tournament Championship. But I think the second most dominant team in college basketball, one of the most dominant out of the Big 12, is the Houston Cougars. And now an expert on those Cougars, Joseph Duarte, joins the Drake Toll Show from the Houston Chronicle. And Joseph, has Houston put together, it's kind of the way that I've pitched it most this season, it's this perfect conglomerate of old and new college basketball experience and then freshman phenoms like Kingston Flemings. Is this the recipe? Kelvin Sampson's built it, the recipe for winning in the postseason in March Madness.
Well, first of all, good morning. And if it's a recipe, it's a new one in the cookbook for Kelvin because he's never had to go that route. Yep. But certainly, when you have 3 core players, starters from last year's national championship game, that gets you back in the door to possibly challenging for another championship. But yeah, Chris Sanak and Kingston Flemings, 2 of the wild cards. I mean, the 2 talented 5-star type recruits, you plug them in, and they're not the easiest positions. You got one playing the point and another transitioning from the 5 to the 4. So yeah, it took a while, and maybe you didn't see some of the patented things that they do great over the years early on this season, but they've certainly steadily gotten better. But yeah, the recipe has changed, but it's still working for them. And, to have those 2 freshmen have big years, that's been a big part of why they're back in this position.
Yeah, Joseph, it reminds me of when Scott Drew put together that national championship team in 2021. A part of that was a product of COVID hitting and a lot of his older players wanting to come back. That was a starting 5 for the Baylor Bears, filled with experienced collegiate basketball players, and their age was such a big help for a team that didn't have to rely on L.J. Cryer, who was a freshman at the time, right, or Adam Flagler, who was so young. And for Houston, that's been the MO, lean on the old guys. Then for the Baylor Bears, they got into that one-and-done territory. Jeremy Sohan was kind of the start of that, and Scott Drew has dipped back into that year in and year out, and it has not worked out very well. Obviously for Houston, a one-and-done in Kingston Flemings is working out to this point. Is that old dog new trick? Is Kelvin Sampson going the one-and-done route now in recruiting?
Well, it didn't look like that to be. I think Sanak, out of the 3 heralded freshmen that they brought in, Kingston was probably number 3 on that list. I mean, I for one thought he'd be back for a second year because he was not on a draft board at the beginning of the year. Now, Sanak was a lottery pick from the get-go, and then Isaiah Harwell was even a mid to late first rounder. But Harwell's been hurt. Kingston just took off. They went with kind of that double point guard situation with Milos Uzan, and the kid's a top 5 pick right now. And Chris Sanak is probably in that 20-22 range. So yeah, the one and done. They started it with Jarris Walker a few years ago. Kelvin had never had one here in Houston, and now the possibility to have 2. It does create some. How do you start roster managing, and you have to go back through the portal and get guys, but they'll take it. This is a situation where if you can get those kind of guys, they're going to do it every time. It's just that Houston now is at a point where they can, whereas 5 or 6 years ago when they were starting to get good, it was the buildup. But right now, they've got 2 coming in. I don't think the next wave of high school guys are going to be one and dones, but they're certainly in that 5-star, 4-star range, and that's what Kelvin's going to keep doing and plugging away because he's done better or great with less. He's done it with 3-star guys. So this is just something new that they just are adding to their list of accomplishments over the years.
And it's fun to think about, too. You mentioned Flemings not being that high profile NBA-wise to start the season. Neither was Sohan when he came out of Baylor, and he was the domino that started this whole one-and-done thing for Scott Drew. Hopefully it goes a lot better. I expect it to for Kelvin Sampson over the course of his next couple of years at Houston. And Joseph, That's part, by the way, to the listeners, Joseph_Duarte on Twitter. You can find him, all of his Houston coverage here during March Madness and across the calendar year. Football, basketball, you name it, Joseph Duarte is covering it when it comes to the Cougars. This matchup with Illinois, you have an Illinois team that efficiency-wise is the best in the country on offense, and Houston, who plays in the last 5 years the best defense in all of college basketball, hands down, unequivocal. Rubber meets road, immovable object, unstoppable force. What is the edge, the difference that makes Houston's defense a tick better than how elite Illinois is on offense?
I'll take a JoJo Tugler any day. I mean, just the guy. Now he's got to stay out of foul trouble. That I'm going to preface it with that. But if he's on the court, they're at another gear. And you factor in, Emmanuel Sharp is one of the best perimeter defenders. So right there, I think you can, that's such a good foundation for them. But you're right. It's sort of, how does this thing play out? I've seen Houston play teams during this 7-year Sweet 16 run where it's the same scenario, and they find a way to shut you down. They find a way to beat you. It was Arizona as the 1 seed in 2022. They played Illinois and Coburn that same year, shut them down. I mean, you go down the list of teams that they played. Houston makes you play their game. And maybe it's not as strong as it has been in the past, but they've said they're good is usually good enough. When they're great, they're really tough to beat. But they're good is most of the times can get them through. I think this is a Final Four matchup. This is the game this weekend. Whoever wins Thursday in this matchup goes on to the Final Four, and you can make a case for both teams. This will be a tough matchup, but I think going through that Big 12 schedule, even with those hiccups that they had, they're very prepared. And I think defensively, that's where it starts, because you saw what they did against A&M in the second round. When they're clicking, they're really on.
Yeah, you read my mind there a bit, and I like that you mentioned it's weird to think about Houston's struggles, 6 losses this season being struggles, but that's kind of the standard they set since walking into the Big 12 and dominating day one. It feels kind of odd to see Houston with 5 losses in the regular season and losing the Big 12 tournament championship against Arizona, but the quick flip into Idaho and Texas A&M. Joseph, I'm watching March Madness, and Arkansas is struggling with High Point, or Duke is struggling with Siena. Sometimes we take these blowouts for even Arizona and Utah State played a pretty competitive game. We take the blowouts for granted. How impressed should people be with a Houston Cougars team who just dog-walked 2 squads in March Madness, and they beat them so badly that most of the country is seeing it as an afterthought? Houston's just that good.
Yeah, well, if on this side, if you're a Houston fan, you're kind of like taking a huge sigh of relief, because normally they put themselves in position to have some tight ones and during the tournament. A couple years ago it was overtime against A&M, and they had really, really close games. Auburn a few years ago. You beat 2 teams back to back by 30. I think that sends a message, and the way they did it. But people don't remember the 6 losses that they have. 2 of them are against Arizona, 1's against Iowa State. Those 2 teams are very much still in it. Yeah. Tennessee was a loss. They're still in it. They lost to Kansas, but then came back and pretty much pulverized Kansas in the Big 12 tournament, or at least very handedly. So yeah, the fact that they're where they're at right now, and they're sort of starting to build up some steam, that's a good sign, because I still think they're dangerous. Everybody's talking about, Arizona or Duke or Michigan. Nobody's talking about Houston, and that's what gets scary, because that was the same scenario last year. When they got to San Antonio, they're losing really bad to Duke, and they come out and pull that one out away, pull that game out, and then they're up by 12 against Florida. That was the year that I think the championship should have come. It's going to be tough with some of the things we talked about this year, but I think getting to the Final Four is still realistic. I'm not sure if winning it is, but they can at least get back there. And if you get in there, there's all bets are off.
Yeah. Joseph Duarte, Joseph_Duarte on Twitter, joining us from the Houston Chronicle on the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Joseph, I want to, let's, on that, and I've talked for a few years now on Locked On Big 12 about for the Houston Cougars fighting for attention on the national scale, because Champaign, Illinois, one thing is going on, it's Illinois basketball, or in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, it's North Carolina basketball. You go to, you just mentioned, a few of these Big 12 schools, Iowa State. You go to Ames, it's Iowa State and their basketball or football. For Houston, you're competing with not just the Rockets or the Texans, the Houston Symphony Orchestra. There are a million things to do. How tough is it for Kelvin Sampson Houston basketball to buy real estate in kind of this public relations realm, to buy attention, to buy marketing, to get the country to pay attention to the greatness that they are putting out?
Well, I've covered his tenure here since day one, and in Hoffein's Pavilion, you could go and you could have an entire section to yourself at a basketball game. There was probably 500 people there. In the beginning, he would have to get a bullhorn and walk campus to tell people to come to the basketball games. I mean, it was a brick by brick situation. And it took a few years. They had a losing season his first year. They went to the NIT the next two, and then it started to build up. And now you can't get a seat at Fertitta Center. Now it holds about 7,100, but it's a loud 7,100. And, you've got people. It's a who's who crowd sometimes. You've got all kinds of celebrities and sports athletes that come into games now. They want a ticket. The manager of the Houston Astros opens the season Thursday afternoon. As soon as his game is done, he's walking over or driving that 2 blocks to the Toyota Center, and he's going to be at the game. Wow. You've got some of the hip-hop guys that are in the city, Paul Wall, just a bunch of guys. They want to be at the game. So Kelvin's built something really special. They call it Camelot of what this era is in Houston basketball. But you're right. When you have the Texans and the Rockets and everything else, there's people want to spend their money going out to a great dinner. We have a good food scene here. Houston basketball has carved out its little niche where tickets are really, really tough to get once conference play starts. And, it's not going to change whether, it's Kelvin or in a couple years when we think Kelvin's going to take over. They feel like they've built something that will sustain.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that, because earlier I mentioned what would pan out the next couple of seasons for Kelvin Sampson. I think he's there. I know he's there as long as he wants to be and until he retires. And when that comes, there's another Sampson waiting in the wings. Joseph, incredibly grateful for you being up this early with us, joining the Drake Toll Show, giving us perspective on the Houston Cougars. Thanks for your coverage and your work. I follow it, but based on this show, Locked On Big 12, all of it. You do an incredible job as a journalist, and it's cool to have you on.
Well, thank you, Drake. Appreciate you, and we'll talk soon.
Yep, go Cougs. Joseph_Duarte. You can find him on Twitter and with the Houston Chronicle, covering the Houston Cougars and the Big 12 as well. The hip-hop stars, they all want to be there. They all want to be at the Houston Cougars game at the home of the Houston Rockets, Toyota Center, on Thursday night, tomorrow. Opening day of the MLB, and March Madness rolls on in the Sweet 16. That guy, if there ever was an expert on Houston, it is that guy. And I do think, ultimately, they will beat Illinois. A great matchup, though. If you're going to watch anything tomorrow and you can't figure out what channel your baseball team is on, if you give up or you have a quad box, number 1 adjusted offensive efficiency in the country, Illinois. Number 2 national scoring defense, Houston. Houston's allowed a combined 22.2% from 3 in March Madness. That is terrible. Oh, and Houston's playing a home game. The Toyota Center will be rocking tomorrow. When we return, a good man got fired. Hubert Davis got fired. Did he deserve it? And is Mark Pope next? This is the Drake Toll Show.
The stories that matter from the
boys go on trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king gales his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country, you need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation, glad they conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down, the champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch, he lost the comeback. He lost for charity, but that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating, and he came to brawl. Notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo Kendall. I guess time does make fools of us all.
It is the Drake Toll Show. You think TJ Otzelberger will go to North Carolina?
At the moment.
What?
I told you. Per their communications AD, which shout out to them. He said TJ lost his voice after last game.
Uh-oh.
I know.
TJ Otzelberger could be you, TJ Otzelberger, are the next North Carolina Tar Heel.
As soon as you can talk.
Got him. As long as whenever his voice is back, he can negotiate and interview for that job. That would be a big blow to Iowa State. That would be some Superdome.
Oh.
Touch yourself. Hubert Davis got fired. This guy's a North Carolina legend. It's the problem. It's what happens. Yes, we must hire native son, for he understands the prophecy, for he knows. We hear tell of a legend, born amongst us, a leader. He will take over for General Roy, and he will win. Never works like that, does it? You always hire the apprentice. Oh, that guy was really good. Oh, that gal was really good. Oh, our women's basketball team's awesome. Man, our softball program's top-notch. Look at this. The ball is tipped. Our basketball team's been so good for decades. Surely after we fire that guy, or he leaves, or he steps down, somebody in our fold, a native son, can come back and lead us to victory. It just doesn't really always work like that. That's not how it pans out most of the time. And it is not how it panned out at North Carolina for Hubert Davis. And what it does is it sours the relationship between a school and a human being. Formerly, he was a legend. But now you won't hear the name Hubert Davis and think North Carolina legend, Tar Heels legend. Guy who's been here forever, who lives it, eats it, sleeps it, breathes it. When instead you'll think about, oh, Hubert Davis, we fired him. He was a bad coach. I would say, he was a fine coach. He did very normal things. Final Four, national championship appearance. He just wasn't the standard of North Carolina. He was the number one team in America preseason who lost. Number one team who lost an opportunity to go to March Madness over the course of his season in 2023. How you going to be preseason number one and not go to the dance, man? So what happened to Hubert Davis was that he just didn't meet the standard. And what I would say is it feels a bit crass that I get to show up to in my cozy little electric shed in my backyard in Savannah, Georgia.
Bananas.
I walk in the door, I turn the light on, I turn on my desk lamp, I turn on my 2 studio lights, I turn on my TV, I quad box 4 channels, Good Morning America's on, I got a couple of ESPN, Fox. I've got behind me my hutch with all my memorabilia on it, pictures, little bobbleheads and whatnot. And it might seem real crass that I can come in here and cozily sit with a blanket in my lap and tell you that, this guy got fired. That I can speak on someone's livelihood like this, or that I have any credential to speak on someone's livelihood like this. But you know what my credential is? Today, I'm not fired. Now, I might be fired tomorrow. I could be fired the next 3 weeks. It's possible. You could be too. But you know what? Here's the deal. When my boss says I need you to deliver on this thing, when my boss says I needed you to do this job, my boss says, hey, I've got this long list of things we're going to hire you for. It's in your contract. Sign it. I do those things. That said, I still have a Cumulus HR training seminar quiz. I have like 3 of them that are due at the end of March I haven't done yet. So, Addie, you're supposed to remind me about that.
Well, I also haven't done them.
Yep. So I should do that. Sorry, Hubert Davis, before I go on the rest of my rant, I should do that. But in your life as a CPA, in your life as a dump truck driver, in your life as a teacher, in your life as a lawyer, you are asked to do your job. If you do not meet the standard of that job, you will be fired. Some jobs are higher pressure than others. The fate of our children should be one of them. A surgeon is one of them. And somehow falling into that category is North Carolina basketball coach. The same thing happens in the National Football League or the NCAA or the MLB with players. They get fired too, man. This happens. If Hubert Davis does the job he was hired for, he does not get fired. The reason that people, they love to say it. Oh, well, you think you can have an opinion at the sports bar? You think you should have an opinion on, you think you could coach North Carolina basketball? Well, it'd be a lot easier to coach at North Carolina than it would be to coach at Siena or UNC Wilmington. But don't let coaches disparage you because they want to say, oh, yeah, you think you could do this? Because they couldn't be a CPA. They couldn't be a lawyer. They couldn't be a surgeon. They couldn't drive a dump truck. They can't do any of that. So don't be disparaged by those who believe that you shouldn't have an opinion on somebody else being fired because you haven't been in that position. You do your job. You didn't get fired today. You know what? If you do get fired, you didn't ask to be in the public sphere, in the public realm. You didn't take the head coach of the North Carolina job. You don't do that. So you know what? I'm on the show today, and I'm telling you, Hubert Davis got fired. And sorry to him, sorry to his family. The $5 million paycheck he gets tonight will help me sleep a little bit, to know that financially he's going to be okay. And for you, if you're a Carolina fan, what sucks is the legend was out. The legend ousted entirely, and he's done. You're going to mar the way you view the guy for the rest of your life. It won't be the legend. It'll be the guy that got fired, the guy who couldn't win. But you know what happens now? You get to winning. You once again have a coach, a program reinvigorated. Go beat Duke. Go compete with John Shire. Because right now, the way they're winning is not helping Hubert Davis. And it's one of the reasons Hubert Davis got fired. Sorry, Big Hugh. Maybe next time. Surely he'll retire, right? $5 million, he's fine. He's made a lot of money. He's going to be okay. And I think Mark Pope is next. I can talk more about it tomorrow, but I think Mark Pope is next. You go coach at North Carolina, you go coach at Duke, you go coach these places and you don't meet the standard, it's not going to work out. After a couple seasons, you can tell it's not going to work out. You might as well just cut the cord, pull the plug, move on as fast as you can once you know that it's not going to work. Carolina did. They've been wanting that. They've been wanting him gone for a couple years now. And 3 straight years of underwhelming, underachieving. It was time. Hubert Davis is no more at North Carolina. Mark Pope, you're next. It's not going to work. Mark Pope is not going to win a national championship at Kentucky ever. Read my lips. No new taxes. Mark Pope will never win a national championship at Kentucky. Also, now Dan Orlovsky's on both screens. He's on SportsCenter and Get Up at one time. How does that happen? Do we just take the guy with the worst takes possible? Do we pull that guy up and say, hey, have him on as many shows as we can? Addie, you're the producer. Can we have Orlovsky on tomorrow, please?
To talk Hubert?
To talk Hubert Davis. That's the second time this show. I opened the show by saying Hubert Davis.
That's why Curtis and I were dying. Because I was like, in what world is it pronounced Hubert?
Kirch Hubert Davis.
Like the lemonade.
I don't.
Hubert lemonade.
I don't even have. Usually I have the rundown pulled up where it says, Hubert is written out. I have nothing even. There's nothing on my screen that says his name on it. I just, in my own heart of hearts, know him as Hubert.
Should I change his should I add pronunciation to the rundown from this point forward?
I know that he would prefer at this point as a fired man to be called Hubert. Hubert Davis. Sometimes people, I'm asked to talk for 3 hours. One or two words might not come out right.
Kirch.
Hubert is one of them. Kurt Hubert. Addie, what's our Wednesday game? We have 2.5 minutes.
Who am I? Cue the music, Curtis. Pigeons on Holiday.
Music.
It's so great. Pigeons on Holiday. You ready? Here's your first person. Award-winning American actor, producer, and director. He's known for his roles in the Creed and Black Panther franchises and for his collaborations with director Ryan Coogler.
Dead or alive?
Alive.
Curtis, you got it?
I already know who it is.
You do?
Yeah.
Basketball player?
Could be confused for one, yes.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan.
Likes In and Out.
Oh, good.
All right,
both
point
there.
for both of you. Here's your next person. Played 15 seasons in the NBA between 1984 and 2003, winning 6 NBA championships with the Chicago Bulls. One of the richest celebrities.
Joe Klein. Scottie Pippen. Steve Kerr. Tony Kukoc.
Curtis.
Michael Jackson.
Nice. All right, 2 points.
For Michael Jordan. All right, singer, songwriter, musician.
Let me be, so people won't understand. That was sarcasm from both Curtis and myself. That's the easiest one you've ever given.
Hubert. Okay.
Hubert.
Singer, songwriter, musician, dancer, and actor who played a key role in shaping the 1980s pop music scene. Songs include Raspberry Beret, When Doves Cry, Little Red Corvette.
Curtis?
Hubert.
Come on,
Hubert
Curtis.
Davis?
You know this one. Come on, Curtis. Curtis.
Shorter than Addie? Prince. It is.
Curtis. Prince?
Yeah, Prince.
Oh, Curtis.
All right, it's this person's birthday, and he will be a friend of the show later on in baseball season. 5-time 20-game winner, 2-time Cy Young winner. When the Braves beat the Cleveland Indians at the time, he was the MVP in that World Series.
Schmaltz.
No.
Damn. Curtis?
Fight Club.
Maddox.
Wrong game, sorry.
Name the next one.
I don't know.
Tom Glavine.
Yeah.
All right, here's your final one. This person is an American actor, producer, and director known for his roles in Captain America and the Fantastic Four films when he was Johnny Storm.
The Fantastic Four films?
Starring Hubert Davis, Kurt Hubert.
Chris Evans.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Good for me. I didn't think I would get that one.
I can't believe you didn't get Tom Glavine.
I don't know.
I'm going to tell him that when he's a guest on our show.
Oh, please don't tell him that.
Hall of Famer Tom Glavine, whose birthday is
Yeah,
today.
but you didn't give me enough.
Are you kidding me? The MVP of the World Series versus the Indians in 1995?
Yeah.
I would have known that.
MVP 2003 World Series.
It's not
Exactly.
Tom Glavine.
But
Not the friend of the
Diamondbacks?
show.
Marlins?
Not the friend of the show.
Diamondbacks,
Tom's
Marlins?
my homie. He responds every time.
Yankees, Diamondbacks, or Marlins. It's one of those. It's one of those. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie Bates produces. Hubert Davis is fired. We'll see you tomorrow. It's time for Nick Costos and You Better You Bet Fastest Show in all of sports, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Love you. We'll see you. This has been, it always will be, the Drake Toll Show.
That ball had a family, a wife, 4 kids, living in the
This
suburbs.
is Westwood One Sports.